Bitcoin is down under $65,000 today. Lots and lots of crypto is moving around from different wallets and different exchanges right now. We've got MicroStrategy down in the double digits, as well as the Bitcoin miners having quite a rough day today. Let's quickly look at this right now. So last night we saw that Bitcoin dropped pretty bad, and this is a 2-hour chart. So in a 2-hour period, they dropped from 69,000 all the way down to 66,000. So it was a $3,000 drop, and we've been dropping off further since. We went as low as 64,552 here, maybe a little lower than that if I really wanted to zoom in. We came right up on my line here that I placed. I can't remember when, but it's been there quite a while, and stopped. That might be support. That might hold us up. We'll have a look here at the moving averages real quick as soon as they load up. Give it a second. My internet's a little bit slow today. There we go. So we're under the 200-hour. Let's look at the daily, actually, because that's really the important one. Ooh, that is quite the candle. So it looks like we went down beneath the 15-day moving average, and that we are on a collision course with the 50-day moving average. As you can see here, that cup and handle I was talking about has been frustrated. I don't think that's going to come through. I will leave this descending channel on the chart just in case it ends up being a wick day, where we are just down here for a few hours and we start charging back up again. We'll take a look. Hopefully that is the case, but it looks like at the moment it's not looking good, but it could reverse and end up being a wick. But we'll have to wait and see how that comes out, what happens there. But we failed to take out this high on this move. If this starts to flag sideways at this 65,000 or 66,000 and below, we are very likely going to come in contact with the 50-day moving average, which is currently sitting down at $62,000. It'll be slightly higher than that by the time we collide with it, but currently the path is to $62,000, and that's where Bitcoin looks like it wants to go. Let's take a look here. This is Whale Alert on X. You can see here, now this is from 17 hours ago, so quite a ways before this big sell-off, but you can see here, so there's actually some positives in here. 17 hours ago, you had, where is it at? 16 hours ago, you had over 200 million USDC transferred from the treasury to an unknown wallet. When that hits an exchange, which is what the stable coins are for, they're for trading generally. When that hits an exchange, that's going to be a very interesting amount of liquidity moving in, coming into play. We had Bitcoin moved from Gemini to an unknown wallet, so they went from an exchange to cold storage there, basically, probably. Scroll up here. I'm looking for more action with USDC. Okay, so 5 hours ago, we had 50 million USDC minted at the USDC treasury. Usually when we see stable coins getting minted, that's a good sign because they will soon find their way to exchanges where they will be used to probably buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the usual top dogs in this space. We can see that 68 million USDC minted 4 hours ago. You've got over 2,000 Bitcoin 4 hours ago transferred from Kraken, an exchange, to an unknown wallet, going to the cold storage likely. Another 4 hours ago, we had 52, almost 53 million USDC minted in the treasury. And then 3 hours ago, we had 100 million USDT transferred from Tether Treasury to unknown wallet. That'll soon find its way to an exchange where it will be used for trading. You had 70 million USDT 3 hours ago transferred from Tether Treasury to Kraken onto an exchange. That's pretty exciting. 3 hours ago, 80 million USDT transferred from Treasury to unknown wallet. Let's see. Is there anything exciting in the last hour? We had, okay, 75, almost 76 million USDC transferred from unknown wallet to Coinbase. So that's going to be used for buying here very, very soon. Then this was just in the last 2 hours. We had that happen. 46 minutes ago, 60 million USDT transferred from the Tether Treasury to Kraken. So that'll likely be used to purchase some Bitcoin here at these lower prices. Now, of course, we can't say for sure, but it could be, and these are promising numbers. So we've got lots and lots of stable coins moving around right now, being minted, moving to, and this is all very exciting because it tells me that we're probably not going to be down here for very long. Now that takes us to MicroStrategy. That has been suffering since the 26th, since, well, 27th, March 27th, where we reached a peak of $2,000. Now that is a psychological level, so I'm not surprised we sold off from there. That's, actually, yeah, that's kind of on par with what I would expect given the movements here. We are in a kind of a nasty pocket of volume here where there isn't like a lot down until $500. Now, I'm not saying MicroStrategy is going to come down to $500. That'd be very dramatic, but that's where the next like big spike in volume is to catch us after this huge meteoric rise from that area just a few months ago. So that's pretty intense right now in terms of how the volume profile is looking on this thing right now. Let's see how far have we fallen down from the top here, 2003, and we came currently we are at a minus 25% move on MicroStrategy. So I would be expecting some bit of a move up here pretty soon, maybe come at least to test the bottom of the 15-day moving average at $1,600 before starting to move further down on MicroStrategy if it is to move further down. Of course, if all of this activity with these stable coins moving around and finding their way onto exchanges is in fact to purchase Bitcoin and drag Bitcoin back up from its current valuation, I would expect MicroStrategy to find a quick bounce out of this downward move here following Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at the miners. CleanSpark is having another really bad day. This is the daily chart. This is one of the most brutal sell-offs I've seen on this chart in quite some time. Honestly, it's even worse than the one that we saw in February and earlier in March. This sell-off that started on March 27th, spurred by the dilution in the insider selling from last week. Whether we are not concerned about that or not, which I'm not really concerned about it, it did cause this cascade of selling that we're seeing right now. Well, it was the beginning. I shouldn't say it caused it because we can't say for certain it 100% caused it, but we are seeing a cascade of selling since then. And we have broken the $18 level. We opened up this morning actually moving down pretty fast. We are finding ourselves near the bottom of the RSI, so that's good. The volume right now, we are falling on lower volume, so that is a sign that this is um, beginning to curl back up. If we see it flatten out tomorrow and the next day and going into the end of the week and start maybe get back above $18, that would be great. But right now, based on how dramatic the selling is, based on the fact that we have gotten below that ever important $18 level, I do see $15 incoming probably pretty soon. So right now I'm just kind of holding off and watching. Yeah, and that would take us to the 50-day SMA at that 15. Well, it'd be $15.28 right now. So we're going to get close to $15. We might not touch $15, but I think we're probably going to get under 16 here in the next few days, given just how intense this momentum is, how just dramatic it is. And you can see we came off of a Keltner channel Bollinger Band squeeze here at the top of the screen. March 26th was the last day of that squeeze, and then we just sold off so dramatically. Now let's take a look at how that looks with the Bollinger Band right now. Where are we within the Bollinger Band after all this crazy movement? Cool, on the daily chart, we're not even near the bottom. The bottom of the Bollinger Band is all the way down at 1373. So I really hope that 50-day moving average catches us. That would be great. That would be good for us, I think, if we were to get caught by the 50-day moving average and move back up from there off of this. So yeah, that's that. We had the squeeze, it broke, and it broke to the downside, which isn't so good. Not great. I mean, we were looking really good, and then that bad news came through and really wrecked our momentum here, huh? Oh well, it'll come back up eventually. We're just holding tight right now. So, and of course, this is not financial advice nor a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. That's just my analysis of this chart. Let's take a look at Mara now. Mara, why do I have a 2-hour chart on here? Let's go to the daily. We are down 8% today on Mara, 8.3%. We had this wicked gap down. We are back down to that most traded level here around 19-ish dollars. So it's just under 20 right now. What is it, 1980? That is like the most traded zone basically for Mara. We're just hanging around in that spot once more. We really need to stay at this point or go above it because we are going to be forming a double top here on the daily chart at that $19.83 level. And if we break that, we are likely to come down to 17, 17.50, maybe even down into $16. So we got to start moving back up on that. Let's take a look at the SMAs here. We are below the 50, below the 5, below the 15. The 200 is all the way down here at 1585. We need to start seeing a bit of a curling up of this stock and kind of getting back above that $22 level that's just been getting beaten down here, Mara, for a while. We are squeezing, and the fact that we're squeezing while price is moving down is promising for an upward reversal once that squeeze releases, as you can see at the top of the screen here. So that will be very interesting to see, and that would be great. Let's take a look at RIOT. RIOT's doing a whole fat nothing, just like usual. Kind of frustrating. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. It's down 7.59%. We did a pretty wicked gap down. We're back down to $10.61. It's really important that we hold this level. We are below this orange dotted trend line I've got drawn here. That's not good. I don't like seeing that. That's not great. So right now, basically, if we don't turn around where we currently are, we're coming down to $9.70, where we may eventually settle down around 8.80 if we don't get a turnaround soon on RIOT. So let's take a look here at the SMAs. Where are we on the SMAs? We're below everything. The 5-day SMA is all the way up at 1182. So we've got to get all the way back up to 1182 just to come back in contact with the 5-day SMA. So actually, that doesn't look bad for a reversal where we currently are, though the SMAs are looking quite ugly on RIOT right now. There's just all this spaghetti right here, all trapped between 1284 and 1168. And I'm saying once we get above these SMAs, once we conquer this 1285 and get above it and stay above it for 2-3 days, $15 is in the cards for RIOT. So it's not all gloom and doom. RIOT is closer to the bottom of its move than the top of its move. It's just moving in a disappointing manner, basically, since mid-month in March here, and we can't quite seem to break that cycle, at least in the short term. Let's take a look at Bitfarms now. Today, down 6.4%. None of that good news from yesterday seems to be saving it right now. We're back down to $2.13. We've gone down as low as $2.10 on Bitfarms. We are hanging out under the 50 level on the RSI here on the daily chart, honestly, since late February. So that's not great. We really need to get back above the 50 level on the RSI to see this thing start to take off. We are seeing a lower volume kind of day. Now, of course, it's early in the day, that could grow, but that is promising that we might be seeing the bottom of the move if volume continues to fall down. But it has been pretty consistent where it currently is right now, at that, not 24 million, but no, that's what the blue one is. Yeah, around that 24 million is that average volume. We're significantly below it at 5 million today. So there's still plenty of time for that to catch up. Kind of hope it doesn't. Kind of hope the volume stays low today. And those weeks is not shaping up to be a great week. Maybe we'll see towards the end of the week it'll start improving here. That would be great. Let's take a look at the SMAs and the volume profile for Bitfarms. So that's not good. So we're below on the volume profile, we're below a chunk of volume and moving downward. So $2 could very easily come into play on Bitfarms, perhaps even $1.80 if we can get through this volume below us at the $2 level. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what it's looking like. We could come back into my yellow box down here around $1.80 if things don't start looking up soon. Now, one positive that we are seeing, there is a Bollinger Band Keltner channel squeeze that we are seeing at the top of the chart here with these yellow plus signs. Since we are in a downward move, once that breaks, it may likely take us back up to the top of the range, which would be around the 50-day SMA around 260-ish. Again, if that breaks to the upside once we are on the way up. Now that could break and move up, or it could, signal a continuation down. This is just signaling a squeeze. It doesn't necessarily say which direction it's going to be. I'm just guessing that since it's been in a pretty intense downward move, it's probably near the bottom of the Bollinger Band or getting close, and we can actually look at that. And stocks, yeah, we're near the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And stocks tend to like to go from the bottom to the top of the Bollinger Band, or from the top to the bottom, and not necessarily just break through the Bollinger Band. Now, it could on really bad news, but that's usually not the play and how it works. So let's see here below us. Yeah, we've got the 200-day SMA down at 186 on Bitfarms. Above us, the 5-day is at 221. Above that is the 15-day at 228, and then the 50-day all the way up at 260. So the SMAs aren't looking so good. We are still above the 200, which is good, but all the others are starting to fan out below each other, and that's not good on Bitfarms right now. Take a look at Bit Digital. How's that looking today? That is down 8.3%. Seeing a theme here, about 8 to 10% on everything down. That's kind of not so good. So we broke completely out of my descending channel here. That's not great. Again, this is also doing a Beltner, a Bollinger Band Keltner channel squeeze, which it was doing back here, and you can see when it decided to start breaking, it broke even further down. So like that could happen too. That was with that megaphone. Hopefully we don't come back down and test the megaphone. If we do, we'd be looking at a $2 bit digital here in the next few days. It looks like the 50-day did not hold us, so we probably will likely come in contact with the 15-day SMA, which is $2.38. Currently, we are playing around on the 5-day SMA, which is sitting at $2.57. Well, our price is currently $2.53. It's just a pretty brutal day. I think this is all due to Bitcoin being down so dramatically today. Obviously, that is very likely the case for the Bitcoin miners coming down with Bitcoin in this fashion. I do think that since we got lots and lots of stable coins moving around right now, that we will soon see that volume pick up Bitcoin. But we will see. We'll see. And hopefully it'll be rather soon versus later. Let's take a look at IREN real quick. IREN had a big day yesterday. Let's see how they're faring today. Honestly, not as bad, not so terrible. They're down 9.58%. So they gave back half of their gains. They gave back all of them at the open of today down here at, or not at the open, but on the wick here at 552. We gave back all the gains from yesterday, but we've been battling back up on IREN, getting back to 588 on that. The SMAs are one of the few that are looking pretty good today compared to the others. We've got we got the 200, and then the 15 on top of the 200, the 50 on top of the 15, and the 5 on top of everything. So that's actually not the worst one. It's not looking so bad. We're still in an ascending channel on this right now, and unless we break that, we will continue on in that way. Let me draw that ascending channel on IREN right here. It's one of the few that's looking pretty good right now, actually. There we go. That's the ascending channel. And it looks like it slowly wants to make its way to the top of this big descending channel, which would take us all the way up to about 753 here on IREN. So that's the update. That's what's going on today. It's a quite brutal day. I think I'm going to try to do another video today. I'll probably do a when moon, since it's such a brutal day, give a little hopium here to myself, and perhaps some of the viewers will find that enjoyable as well as I do that later on. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.